I want to talk about the whole UFO thing here for a minute or two, and the ridiculousness that's going on with it, and the hidden agenda that is going on with it. First, it's suffering from this cultural Marxism, if you will, by changing the term UFO to UAP. I'm not rewriting history for you. Sorry, it's UFO. It's always been UFO. It will always be a UFO, and a UFO can mean anything. A balloon is a UFO until you realize it is a balloon. This whole thing about disclosure and the government is a Trojan horse. We all know that the government is trying to bring in, well, the globalists, the Rothschilds, and the Bilderbergers, and all the people at the top. I don't want to mention too many names. All the big players of the game. They all want a global government. They've been trying to get a global government since the very First World War with the League of Nations that failed, and then again with the United Nations, and so on and so forth. They've been pushing for their global government for like a century. They're going to do everything they can to get their global government. That means they're going to erode America from within, which is what's happening. Destroy the Constitution, beat Americans down because we're the last stand before they bring in the Great Reset and bring in the Great Chaos to bring in the Great Reset so they could bring in the global government. Problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem, they react, and then they have a solution. But the point I'm trying to make with this whole thing is there's people out here now that are absolutely, well, I mean, we all know that people are look, the average person, the things that they do, they have to be programmed on some level. I mean, this is beyond MK Ultra. This is beyond Project Mockingbird. They're being programmed through frequencies. They're being programmed. I think the juice injections are part of it. The NPCs, because there's no way that the average person can be this stupid. I honestly think that a lot of them are clones or soulless creatures or just clones, just NPCs, and they're here to just create chaos and confusion amongst the people that are not NPCs. They're used as a pawn, because it's impossible that someone who is human can be this dumb and not have this kind of spark or follow everything that they hear from the media. So in order for you to follow what's going on in the media like this, whatever the TV tells you, whichever way the wind blows, you go. It's impossible that you have a brain. It's impossible that you have no sort of discernment. You have no sort of self-thought. You have no critical thinking. It's like you don't have the angel on your shoulder. You don't have any common sense. You're cognitive dissonance. It's a mess. So the whole point I'm trying to make with this is the UFO community, now they're pushing disclosure. When the UN states that they want a global government by 2030, and this is in their own documents, the UN Agenda 2030, look it up, the UN Agenda 2030. In their own documents, they want a global government by 2030. All the top people, Schwab, all of them, they all want a global government. They need a great reset to bring in the global government. So you don't think for a second that all this disclosure and all this UFO stuff is leading to a Trojan horse, which this Trojan horse will be a fake alien invasion to bring in the global government? You don't think that that's what they're trying to do here? I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's a possibility, and all signs point in the right direction for at least to be, on the table. And then they have these NPCs out here going, oh, we trust the government now. I'm so confused. You trust the government that called you a conspiracy theorist, but that term was coined by the CIA, a kook, a tinfoil hat wearer, you have sex with your sister, you have a mullet, and you're in a meth lab in the middle of nowhere. You're crazy. Every time the news organizations came on, the crisis, there's crisis actors and then there's the news actors that read the scripts, that push a narrative. They would play, the X-Files music, and they would be all smirking and laughing, and you had every facet of media from the top down, and every part of government from the top down calling you a nut, a kook, for the last 70 years. Now, after 70 years of ridicule, after 70 years of them beating you mercifully, after them beating you mercilessly, after them beating you, okay, with no conscience, you're on the ground and they're still beating you. You now are going to turn around and trust them giving you disclosure? This is the same government. I mean, the list is so long as to why. No, I mean, it's any government, not just the American government, but it's any government. But we're in America, so we're going to use the American government. The list is so long that I don't even have time to record all of it. So why not to trust them? You're telling me you're going to trust this government that is the same government that did the Tuskegee Airmen, the same government that did the Gulf of Tonkin, the same government that has been stealing your money and giving it to NASA $20 billion a year for their fake CGI crap? I got painted bridges. I got painted rust in my area. The bridges are literally painted rust. Potholes so bad that when you go over them, you can blow your tire out. But yet your money is stolen and goes to NASA in the sum total of over $20 billion. That's $1 billion a year. So they can give you fake CGI stuff and lie to you constantly and do whatever they're doing with the real technology, the suppressed technology, and the real secret space program, and the real technology that they have, and everything that they're really doing. NASA's just a front. So they lie to you, steal your money, cheat, and then you have these average people now who are just woken up to UFOs. Like, again, I'm an old school Gen Xer. I used to go to a bookstore in the early 90s, and I would be getting laughed at by the people at the counter because I was buying UFO magazines. Literally. I was watching UFO documentaries that Fox used to play and recording them, and I used to try and find people to watch it back in the early 90s, and everybody used to go, oh, you're crazy, you're a kook. And it's like, why? Why am I a kook? Like, literally, like everybody, and then I stuck with it because I know it's true. The extraterrestrials come from extra land, the land beyond the wall. Outer space is out of our space. So I know that they're coming from the land beyond the wall, and I knew this, but I used to be in the bookstore or the magazine stand in the early 90s buying UFO magazines. I used to watch all the specials that Fox used to air in the early 90s. I used to listen to all the AM talk radios with the static and trying to get a clear signal so I can hear it better on the little Maxwell House coffee can sounding AM radio thing. It's crazy. Now, and I remember watching the History Channel, like I'm going back to even 2008 with UFO hunters and stuff. I couldn't get anybody to watch it with me. I got laughed at, called a kook, all these weird things. Now, all of a sudden, these same people who laughed their entire life because the government said that it's true. Now you want to come out and say, oh yeah, maybe UFOs exist. What? You called me and everybody else like me a kook. Now you're because the government says it. The same government, again, just using examples, the Northwoods documents, the Iran-Contra, okay? The same Oliver North Iran-Contra affair. Are you kidding me? So this is the same government that within the last, what was that, 35 years ago, whatever it was, they did the Iran-Contra affair. Okay, exchanging guns and drugs. Oliver North, look it up if you don't know about it. I can go on and on and on. The Patriot Act. I can go on and on and on. I mean, endless wars. I can go on and on. War profiteering. I can go on and on. I can go on. I can't list all the things. It's impossible. Okay? Now, because they say that, oh, aliens are real and they're a threat. They're a threat. Ah! Run for the hills. They're a threat. Ah! Now you want to believe them. I'm sorry, I'm not going to believe someone who for 70 years has been lying, cheating, and stealing from the innocent people of the country, and then making fun of them after stealing from them, lying to them, suppressing technology, suppressing information. This is all your money. All these military bases that are secret, it's all your money that's building this suppressed technology. Yet you can't know about it. And then when you see it, you say, hey, I saw something. Oh no, you're a kook. You didn't see anything. It was swamp gas. Okay, now after 70 years of that, you now want to tell me the quote-unquote truth for quote-unquote disclosure? All these NPCs are lining up for a lie. It's a Trojan horse, because once they bring in the fake alien invasion and the New World Order gets their agenda of a one-world government, these sheep are going to line up and say, oh yes, I will give up my rights. Yes, give me a shot too. I need more juice shots. Inject me with more juice shots for the New World Government alien leaders. Literally, the way that they lined up for the juice is the same way they're going to line up to give up their rights. I will turn my gun in and give me a shot. I will pray to our alien overlords now. Please, I want a one world government. This is literally what they will do. The NPCs will line up, and this is why they're here, because they're lining up to show and to persuade public, and then go along to get along. Then the rest of the public sees the NPCs lining up and going, well, they're doing it, so I should do it too. And that's why I believe that they are cloning humans. These NPCs are soulless clone creatures, invented in all these labs and these military underground bases, and they're put out here to sway the good people, to sway the people that are sold. Because what other function would they have? Because then the people that are really, really good people who are real humans go, I don't want to be a bad person. I want to go along to get along. I'll support them and go along with them. And then that's how they sway society into taking the juice, the injections. And that's how they sway society into turning in guns. And that's how they sway society into the coming one world government. So all these NPCs are going to say, as soon as the news brings in the agenda, the script, oh, the aliens landed, the NPCs, we must follow. And then the good people are going to go, yes, let's follow them. And not understanding what is really going on. This whole thing is a Trojan horse to bring in a one world government. I don't know what to tell you, but this whole thing just stinks. It stinks. Do not trust them as far as you can throw them.